Why, hello everybody. So, this is the monthly update video for October in 2022 for Pirate Software, so our game studio. And I've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. So today we're going to talk about Heartbound, Champions of Breakfast, some new Steam icons, which is pretty cool, Onion, our new ferret, and mushrooms, because I'm growing a lot of mushrooms, which is very fun. And the first thing is Heartbound. So with Heartbound, I originally was going to cut the storyline short with, Shelly and Sheldon, and then a little bit of Remul, and not having Remy in the game until after Animus was finished. This sucked. I got a lot of feedback from people. It wasn't good. It didn't seem right. It didn't really tell enough about the characters in the way that I wanted it to, and it didn't feel, overall it just didn't feel good. So I've now changed that, and we're going to make it so that once you meet Shelly and Sheldon, that continues up into the storyline with Remy and Remul. They all tie together because it's a family dynamic thing. And then after that, we're going to go into the ending of Animus, which I think is a much better transition, and it allows me to introduce a lot of the characters to you that you wouldn't have otherwise seen. So it should be something really good. I've gotten most of the dialogue finished for this. That dialogue, which you can see some of it on stream, it's going to be going up to the translator soon, and then they're going to be able to start translating this. For those of you who speak Russian or play the game in Russian, unfortunately, we still cannot pay our Russian translator. They live in Moscow. There's not really anything we can do with that. So I'll let you know if there's any updates for that, but I'm sorry, and don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you. So, I hope you're okay with waiting, is really what it comes down to. For the next thing, we've got Champions of Breakfast. So Champions of Breakfast was actually our first game as a studio. It's something a lot of you may not know about. It's something that I don't really talk about very often. It was a tester game that we made specifically to try and just get a game up on Steam, because we had never launched a game on Steam. I had never used Game Maker Studio at the time we made this. Shay had never done pixel art before for making games, and never done pixel art even overall. And our musician at the time was Case, and Case had never made any music at all for a game before. And we ended up using pots and pans and physical Foley sounds for everything in the game. And then a soundtrack that Case built, and it turned out really nice. So from concept to release, even with not knowing anything, with not knowing how to do any of this, it was 24 days. From I want to make a game to my game is up on Steam was 24 days. And I learned how to learned how to use Game Maker Studio by making this game. And Shay learned how to make pixel art by making this game. So it's something that's really special to all of us. So I went back and I took the Game Maker Studio version 1 version of this, and I've updated it to Game Maker Studio 2 now. It has full controller support now. It's got a whole bunch of different settings options and all kinds of stuff that you can do in it. I've wiped the leaderboards, we've updated a whole bunch of stuff, fixed a ton of bugs that are in there, and it turned out really nice. So it's got 160 achievements if you're into that. It's got point shop items, so it's got a bunch of funny stuff in there, and with the full controller support now, if you have any type of physical disability, you should be able to still play the game because the controller can be remapped to other things. It's not a remapping inside the game, but with other devices and stuff, I've seen that you can remap that, and it should be a much easier time for you. So yeah, I hope that you play it, and if you enjoy it, let me know. There's not a huge amount of reviews on this. I think it's sitting at 75 right now, but it's 98% positive, so people enjoyed it, and it's just not got a lot of visibility. So I hope that you enjoy that, and I hope that you play it. For the next one, we've got new Steam icons. So these, Steam made it mandatory recently for these new library icons, and I kind of like them. I like the way that they look. So these are what these new ones are going to look like. It's for a certain part of the library, all the way at the bottom, basically, when you have them sorted. But I think they look nice. So you're probably going to see these soon over on Steam. I don't know how long they take to propagate, but I put them up today. And yeah, it's just a simple thing. All right, so on to Onion. Onion is our new ferret. She's very cute. Look at her. It's kind of a sad story with her. I didn't plan on getting another ferret. I already have 5 ferrets, and now we have 6 ferrets. It's a lot of ferrets, right? Well, somebody found Onion abandoned in a rural area near my house. That person contacted my neighbor, who takes care of a lot of cats, who contacted us and said, hey, do you guys want a ferret? This person found an abandoned one. I was like, absolutely. Instantly, no doubt about it. Because shelters do not take ferrets here, and ferrets are a very high-maintenance animal. A lot of people don't know how to take care of them, and someone had abandoned this one. She's only 3 to 4 months old. She's got the tattoo, so she's a Marshall's ferret. We know that she's a Marshall's ferret, which is a breeder here in the United States. And she was in very, very good health. So we got her, and then made a little enclosure for her so she was away from the other ferrets while we tried to figure out if she was sick or not, because you don't want to have them spread the sickness to the rest of the colony of ferrets, right? and just kind of hung out with her, tried to understand her personality, and found that they had been feeding her incorrectly because she's got a lot of plaque on her teeth. She's only 3 to 4 months old, but she's got plaque as if she was like 3 to 4 years old is the problem. Ferrets only live 5 to 7 years, so that's a pretty big deal. So we're going to be doing an enzyme cleaner to get rid of the plaque on her teeth, and we've been feeding her correctly, taught her how to eat kibble because she didn't know how before that. She didn't understand it. And yeah, it's basically just been taking care of her. And very, very quickly we found out, oh, she's not sick. Everything's okay. So we started having play dates with the other ferrets. And now she's fully integrated in with the rest of them, and she's imprinted on Beans, who's this ferret here. Basically, Beans was the first ferret that she got to meet, and what happened was she was just ecstatic. She was like, oh my god, another ferret. She freaked out. She's jumping all over the place. She was duking, super, super excited. And now you can't split the two of them up. They constantly are sleeping together. She's always like near Beans. She's always like hanging out with Beans, watching what he's doing everything that he's doing, everything like that. It's very, very cute. So it's a really happy ending to a really sad story, and I'm very glad that she's here. So yeah, that's Onion. And then the last thing, mushrooms. I have a mushroom farm. Some of you don't know this. I love my mushroom farm. It feeds me a lot of delicious food. So I did another harvest, and this is shiitake mushrooms and oyster mushrooms, and they're Italian oysters, really, really nice. And if you look here, we've got one of the shiitake blocks that's currently, blooming. It's doing its thing. It's doing a flush. And then here's another one of the shiitake blocks doing the same thing. And I take the caps off of these and I cut them off. And I take the stems and I cut them away from the caps and I put those on trays like this. And the oyster mushrooms get split up like this and put on the trays. And then I take those and I put them in a food dehydrator. And that food dehydrator allows me to dry out all of it and make it really, really nice. And the stems go down to the bottom here. And then I take the stems and I grind them up in a mortar and pestle to make a powder. So it's shiitake flavored mushroom powder, and it's so delicious. And I put it in ramen and all kinds of stuff. And these get saved for later for when I can eat them so they don't go bad. Well, the last mushroom is, and this is the one that grows, it grows for about 6 months. It's called a reishi mushroom or a lingji mushroom. It's crazy looking, right? It looks like an alien or like a troll from Homestuck's horns. They're outrageous looking, but these get used for tea, so I'm going to slice this up eventually, and then once it's all sliced up, I can use it in tea, and it's really, really delicious tea. But yeah, for those who wanted the mushroom updates, there you go. And I hope you guys are excited for the update for Heartbound that is going to be coming out once I finish those new areas, and my general stance on it is the same as it always has been. I want it to be the best possible game, and I'm going to take the time to make it the best possible game, and if you're willing to wait for it, I hope that you enjoy it. That's it. Talk to you guys later.